Good morning. Welcome to Mighty Ox Trading. I'm a little late here. Uh, Hope everyone's having a good Friday. Looks like the Nasdaq just sent a short signal here just as I come on. Let's bring up a chart. Not quite awake yet. Also see that 618, 241. This looks like TradingView rolled its contract, whereas I'm still on. Uh, Filled on a micro Nasdaq right as we come on the air. Or I guess it's not air, it sounds like a TV show, but you know. Looks like I'm dealing with different contracts between NinjaTrader and TradingView. But it looks like volume on that one, it looks like the volume on the December contract is still higher than the new contract, 121, 229. So it looks like I got in just as this is reversing. Luckily, it's only a micro. Probably shouldn't have just jumped into that. Here you can see the chart for that trade. We're down 10 bucks. Let's stop out. We'll move our stop back to the 7 minute 186. We'll move it up here right to the SMA line. So, it's unusual to have multiple signals popping right as I come on, but let's check it out. Gold, sideways. UltraBond being blocked by my MNQ chart here. It's been grinding upwards. So let's check our overnight price action. We will shrink this for now. Put this to the side. We're in that micro Nasdaq trade for one micro, just because I didn't want to jump into something without even looking. Nasdaq overnight, less than 100 point range, which is not something we've seen lately. Uh, about 85 points. Made a nice move up here for about 5 hours. S&P about a 24 point range. Definitely a little bit less price action than we normally see. Although, I guess today is a roll day. Everything needs to roll to March, I think, by the end of the day. Some people have rolled. Some people are still doing uh, December. I hate roll days. Copper. Wick down here. I have my values blocked. Down to about 430. Hit a high of about 436 on this weird odd wick up, which came right back down. So about a 5.5 point range. Gold. Gold's had only about a 10 point range, so we're seeing a little bit lighter volume there as well. I mean, lighter moves. UltraBond. Looks like only about a point range. Crude is near the top of its daily range right now, about a point and a half so far. Natural gas has been coming up pretty much since the open. Fell back here recently, trying to curl back up. About 130 ticks. And the Russell, about 18-point range. So that's our price action overnight. Good morning, Chris. How are you? Sorry I didn't see you there. And that catches us up to where we're at. We're down $6.50 right now. This Nasdaq trade as it kind of goes sideways. See where it goes from here. Excuse me. I'm doing all right, Chris. Hanging in there. It's been a bad week, but hopefully we can finish it off strong. Trading this morning, Chris. Just kind of watching this MNQ trade. See where it goes. See here the recent price action. Came down here. This has been a nice trade, but I was still like sleeping. Well, my alarm went off just as this went off, so actually wasn't that big of a move. 18 to 20-point move. It's a nice move. I tried to come up back here and smack back down, so I'm hoping it continues to go down. Oh, CPI report. Thank you for reminding me of that. That comes out at 8:30 Eastern, I hope. I really need to keep an economic calendar going. I say that like every stream. Yep, there we go. CPI, yeah, 46 minutes from now. Okay. Thank you for reminding me of that, Chris. I'm going to go do a quick warning in the Earn and Trade Discord, just to remind everybody. UltraBond. coming back. Still uptrending SMA lines and uptrending bands. Excellent, Chris. Good job. Okay, warning sent on our trade Discord about that CPI. And as was doing that, we went positive on the trade here on the micro. Nasdaq's continuing to move down. What was that semi-signal? Crude, I think. Maybe not. What was that semi-signal? Crude, no, copper. Okay. Copper's heading crude. I mean, wait. Oh, yeah. Okay, the copper buy signal. Just kind of out of the blue there. Now gas. Chart's kind of blocking it. Oh yeah, look at that. Nice Nasdaq going down. Wish I had gone with a regular one, but hey. That is, unfortunately, I also went at the wrong parameters. It's looking for 30 points. I'm not sure I'm going to get the 30 points. Let's look at resistance. I might want to cut this. Looks like back here is the resistance. Our support. 70 down at, oh wait, that's S&P. Let's try looking at the right chart. Looks like we're nearing a resistance or support level right here. It's about only about 4 points away. It's actually where it bounced there already. It's a micro, so I'll give it a little room. Move our stop loss, oops. Move our stop loss down to like a tick above break even. Looks like it wants to come back. You see it bounced off that support level from back here where it was coming up, pulled back. Wait, no, wrong pullback. Coming up, pulled back, exhausted here, and then continued to go. So that's an important level. Oh, big time coming back down. Let's see if they can get through that resistance, our support, whatever it is. Kind of sideways here a bit, but we're still $14 in the profit. See if it continues to move down or if this is the bottom-ish. Still watching this try to come down a bit. Gold is curling up here a bit. So we're seeing the indices coming down. We're seeing gold heading up as we head into that CPI report. I don't know if that has any indication of what they expect the report to say, because gold tends to react along with the indices based on inflation. See, the bands are starting to kind of curl together here. It's knocked down a signal. Gold. Oh, big move down on gold there. Not that big. Looks bigger than it is. Let me head over to Twitter and see what kind of report they're expecting this morning. Positive or negative. Oh. Friday's consumer price inflation report arrives just 5 days before next week's Fed meeting. Analysts expect the headline CPI number to reach 6.8%, which would be the highest since 1982. An even higher rate could rattle investors further and reset Fed rate hike expectations. So this could be a really exciting morning. And honestly, I've never thought I'd say that about an inflation report. God, what has my life become? Meanwhile, we're still kind of consolidating. You see that the SMA is kind of coming to meet the price action instead of the price action coming to meet the SMA. Crude, Crude giving us a short, but heading it back up. Uh, we'll see if this NQ trade bounces off the SMA. If not, we'll cut it for like a $5 win. Gold continuing now to head up. We are about 2.5 minutes from the top. Excuse me, from the top of the hour. Probably see a little bit more volume come in then. About 30 minutes away from that CPI report. UltraBond coming down. Gold heading up. Indices trying to head up. It looks like we're going to stop out at break even here. I'll just let it stop out at break even. Take the $2 loss on the commissions. Interesting that, right now gold and the indices are going in the same direction. We just stopped out there. So that was break even trade basically. Which is fine. It was only one micro, and I really shouldn't treat it like that. I should have taken the $20 win earlier, but yeah, stopped me out and went back down a little bit. So now it's fun playing news in a way, or waiting for news. It's not really fun playing news, definitely necessarily. Copper with a big drop down there. Um, Cause usually I stay flat for news, and usually I stay flat for the open. So I end up having to like pick and choose trades in the middle of staying flat. Nasdaq did just send us an opposite signal now. UltraBond down there, you see. Whoa. Wow, copper just lost its mind. Should have jumped on that. Uh, oh, wow. It went down hard and came all the way back, and it's acting like, not sure what's going on with copper. Gold also down there. lots of signals here. I was on gold, crude, Russell. Russell's popped up. Crude down. So been a good. This was a hanging below an uprising SMA. So I was hesitant to take it, but might have been a good trade. Hi Walt. Good morning. CPI's in 30 minutes. I took a trade on uh, one trade on micro Nasdaq, and I got out break even. It's all probably not going to do much until CPI. CPI, depending on the number, could send markets rolling, especially with the FMOC next week. If CPI is real high, you might see the market thinking that it's going to change policy, or at least that's what I read Twitter. So it could be a fun morning, though probably best to stay flat for at least the report. Copper really heading down here quick. I should have grabbed that. How's your trading going, Walt? Have you been able to make any progress away from your drawdown that you were having to be so careful about? Thank you everyone for joining me this morning. I noticed the numbers popping up here on the people viewing as top of the hour hit. Feel free to say hello and chat. Join Walt and Chris. So Nasdaq came up, stopped me out, and then went back down. UltraBond, trying to make a whatever. My brain can't think right now. So things are kind of calm right now. The calm before the storm. Gold, crude. Gold giving us another buy signal here. Pulled back enough to give us a short, then pop back up. It's right at a. You can see here. We have this weird candle right here at 7:06 a.m. Eastern, about an hour ago. Where it just popped up out of nowhere and then reversed. And I just got above there and above this recent high. So guess that candle didn't really mean anything. It's above any major resistance. I should have grabbed it instead of analyzing it, I guess. Oops. Yeah, so far it's kind of struggling after it got above that resistance. Uh, that copper would have hit my profit target. Boop, 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 boop. So let's check our price action on the NASDAQ overnight. Wald, are you still using the December contract? Seems like December still has more volume than the March does. Over the weekend, I'm going to do some analysis and see whether or not I want to run tighter stops on NQ trades. Yeah, excuse my yawn. Interesting that here and here, coming down through an uptrending, these short signals were basically through an uptrend, but both would have given me 15 points. You can see here, this buy signal back here, I wouldn't want to take it because of these downtrending bands, but it bounced off the bands like I would have expected, bounced to the SMA and then went. So that would have been an excellent trade once it bounced. 187 up to 203. About 15 points. UltraBond giving us a signal. Same thing here. This buy signal I wouldn't have taken. Right in the middle of a downtrending SMA line. Bands coming down. It pulled back just like I expected. Then came back up. Now, when it came back up, though, the bands were still doing the same thing. Wasn't enough price action. But that second break is usually where you see it, stay above. What's a guy here? That might have been decent. Not sure. Let's mark it off just out of curiosity. This is the type of trade I gotta get better at recognizing, because it doesn't come directly off of a signal. Yeah, this would have got us that 15 points. Although honestly, but just as safe to wait for this one where the no longer the downtrending, and we would have got 15 off of that. This buy signal we would not have gotten 15. Would have gotten I'd have to get something out of it. Would have went up 12, so my trailing stop would have gotten a couple points. Short signal coming down in the uptrending bands here. I would not have taken it. Then it went sideways. Right here would have been a great signal to take for the downward move. Then this is the one I did take that came down, and not sure, and it ended up stopping out here at about break even. It's sideways since. Seems to definitely be calm before the market. Gold is continuing to go, so that would be a good signal to take. Up about 19 ticks. Copper continues to move down. UltraBond also heading upwards. Russell, UltraBond pulling back. Russell. Oh, so we're seeing an interesting upward trend here. 15 minutes before CPI on the Russell. Not sure what woke Russell up. Must have been an alarm clock. Oh yeah, whoa. Okay, well this is interesting. What's prompting this 15 minutes before CPI? Move up here on all three indices, big candles compared to their recent price action. Yep, and there's the pullback. The Russell, at least. No real pullback yet on the Nasdaq. Gold's continuing to go higher. It's trying to regain everything it lost from the earlier in the session. I didn't take this. I just don't know what's causing this bump up. I mean, maybe I should have just following the signal, but this is interesting moves. We saw this period here of consolidation heading up now. I mean, it's popped up 12 points. Kappa trying to rebound. Nasdaq continuing to make me regret not taking a trade there. No, it's only up 10 points. Natural gas. There's the pullback on the indices. Big drop down. It's interesting price action. As I yawn, sorry about that. Glad the weekend's almost here. Gold pulling back as well. So gold went first, then the indices followed, but now they're both all pulling back at the same time. Copper pulling back as well. Bonds are kind of sideways. Crude sideways. Natural gas headed down. We are about 8 minutes away from the CPI report. Kind of quiet. Well, it's not quiet. Made a nice move. Now we're kind of falling back. That's why I didn't want to jump in on this move. I mean, it would have been a good move to jump in on, obviously, to grab a couple of points. ES actually did a bigger move than the NASDAQ if you consider the percentage. Ooh, big drop on gold. I need to do some analysis on charts. Hi, Sandra. Welcome. How are you this morning? Need to do some analysis on charts to see how these things, see how things react going into a CPI report. See if there's any patterns or anything there. Probably isn't, but it'd be interesting to do. So far, these signals would have given me some good scalps if I was looking at a scalp. And the UltraBond would have given me the full amount that I'm usually looking for. NASDAQ bond. Everything's kind of dropping all of a sudden. Gold, NASDAQ, copper, bonds, BS and Russell actually have a green candle. Crude has a green. So of the 8 things I watch, well, I don't know. Nothing is sure right now, and I'm not entering any trades until after the report comes out in about 3 minutes. That was interesting what happened there. Copper did send us a short signal, down 3 ticks since then. What I'm hoping to do is seeing what the market does with the CPI report and try and find something once it settles out before the open. Trying to find a way to salvage this week. After having 5 green days last week, I've had 4 red days this week. I know I'm not going to make back what I lost, for the entire week, but it'd be nice to end on a green note. So Sandra, I don't think I've seen you before in here. Maybe I have. My memory's bad because it's really early in the morning. Are you actively trading, or sim trading, or gauntlet trading, or somewhere in between? Okay, about 30 seconds here. There we go. Wow. Boom. Big, big candles here on the NASDAQ, up 27.33. Wow. Boom. Holy Hannah. 44, 46, 47, 50, 53. I should have just went, I should have YOLO'd and grabbed the micro. 55, gold up 3.5. Let's go to Twitter and see if I can find out the numbers on that report. Boom, 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 boom. 6.8. Looks like they got it right. Well, they what they were expecting. Oh, gold. That big move up, and it just gave it all back. Pull back here on the NASDAQ. Though it's heading back up now. Bonds. Wow, bonds blew up 17 ticks and gave it all back and heading down. Gold is almost a doji. ES, Russell making those same moves. Crude. Crude likes it too. Crude heading up. Natural gas doesn't care. We are up over 50 points on the NASDAQ. Copper even liked it. Copper doesn't always respond to economic reports like other things do, but it's happy right now. Seems like things are slowing down a bit here 2 minutes after the report. Gold sending us another buy signal. Highest CPI since 1982. See if gold gets back above this recent high here. Strong move upwards. We had the recent high was already breached. Wow, it's moving fast, moving faster than I'm prepared to do anything about. Which kind of sucks. We're gonna yellow, I think. Okay, I just went in on a gold trade. See if it continues to go up. Oh wow. Yeah, it went up and hit my trailing stop that quick. Holy crap. I'm not even sure what I got out of that. Let's, I didn't even have a chance to show the screen. So, okay. So I jumped into that gold trade, got 12 ticks. I was in that trade for 8 seconds. 8 seconds for $120. So that worked. Might have been better not to have the trailing stop in place because it's still going, but hey, I'll take a $120 win either way. It's already up to 83.4. It knocked me out at, what was that? 81.2. So yeah, I mean, the trailing stop ended up costing me there, but it was still, I'll take 120 bucks there. And there's the pullback. So I mean, the trailing stop was still good. I mean, it just maybe it was a little bit too tight for that situation. But hey, we see Nasdaq continuing to go. Looking for resistance here. There. Go back to yesterday. Yesterday. All my troubles seem so far away. So here, right here, as it was coming down yesterday afternoon, this area here, resistance, this area here, resistance, and this here, resistance. So boom, boom. Next major points 310, 341. Okay. Walt, I yeah, I was reading that quick. I knew it was near where they were expecting. I must have misread numbers just a bit. Um, Definitely seems like they'll continue the taper and FMOC, and maybe they might even accelerate. Did you play any of this, Walt, or did you stay out? Nasdaq's up 110 points since that report came out. One day I'll be brave enough just to like go in a trade, no trailing stop, and just let it manually roll and make the entire get the entire move. Today was not that day. Copper pulling back. Things slowing down a bit here. Gold's been sideways for 5 minutes. Things are calming down. So now things are calming down. Markets trying to take a breath, see where it goes from here. BHA. Oh, UltraBond though is deciding to just vomit up blood. Yeah, that was a gross description. I'm sorry. Down 10, 11 ticks on this candle. Gold also sending us a short signal. So everything's kind of like pulling back here now some. Gold's trying to give up most of its gains. Gold is back down below about where this candle started. There's the bump up. Pull back by 20 points on the Nasdaq. Copper down almost 10 ticks. Crude pulling back. Good job, Walt. Good job. Now we're still taking a breath. I mean, we have S&P that did kind of come back up here on 5 points, pulling back. I had these resistance lines drawn out. I'm not sure if they're. Let's look back. Looks like one is for this area right here. It topped out near this line here. We're already above that though, so get rid of that. Let's see where 46.99. That was here, although it went higher than that there. So that's right. Here's our next resistance point on ES, right at 4,700. That makes sense. The market does love even numbers. So we'll see whether or not it can make it up there. Pulling back for now. So the question is, are we just going to take a breath until the open, or are we going to get any other good moves? You see sideways NASDAQ, gold's kind of meandering sideways. UltraBond came down kind of hard, and then now meandering sideways. Copper, sideways. Natural gas sending as a signal, but I don't take trades on natural gas. I just watch it. I don't know why. SMA line on ES and NQ both coming up to kind of meet the sideways price action. Gold's broken below its SMA. UltraBonds continuing to come down. So, Walt, what do you think? Do you have any thoughts on what the market's going to do at the bell? Do you think it can continue to go up? Is the market like this, or do you think they were going to see a sell-off? Oh yeah, I guess we did make new daily highs here in gold. New daily high there on the UltraBond. New daily high on crude. Copper stayed within its range. Obviously, a new daily high here on the indices. And Russell, of course, involved with that as well. Those of you here on YouTube, please remember to hit the like button. I guess the YouTube algorithm likes that. And also subscribe if you haven't. Picked up a bunch of, like 4 new subscribers yesterday. I was surprised. It was a nice little surprise there. Yeah, everything's just kind of hanging around now, fluctuating just a bit up and down, but nothing to really grab. At least not what I'm looking for. Not what I'm looking for. All's quiet. Even the Earn a Trade Discord's quiet. No one's talking there. That time I should, like, be playing Christmas carols or something to entertain. Looks like even soybeans, like the CPI report, went up before it closed for an hour. Corn did the same. Interesting. I have no idea why I even keep those charts around. I haven't taken a trade on agriculture since I was on Top Step. UltraBond. Trying to push back up because I think it's a buy signal here. SMA line's kind of flattening. The bands are kind of flattening. Yeah, I had no idea either. Well, I I try to just kind of play what I see instead of having a bias. But I just look for things to, chat about here, so I don't just keep saying, "Well, this is going up here by a tick." Excuse me. Yesterday we saw a pretty big fall in the right after the open. What does our daily charts look like? Boop, boop, boop. Okay. Ooh, that's a lot of lines. I can get rid of that one, I think. Uh, yeah, we lost 243 points yesterday on the Nasdaq. So far, we've gained back 135 today. It looks like. Hanging right around that 20 period SMA line on the daily chart. And again, this is kind of frustrated I missed this. Let me see what that signal was. Oh, here, get rid of that one. That was gold. Okay, let me check that gold. Go away. Thank you. I'll come back to that thought in a minute. Let me just check that gold. Gold's giving us a buy. I want to see it get back above these highs over here. Which, it's not quite there yet. But one of the reasons I like the Bollinger Bands, the third band, when it touches a third band on the daily chart, it's almost always a guarantee the next day it's gonna go the other way. See here on the third, came down, touched the band. Band was right around 586, and it reversed up to 717. So right there that day, it reversed by 538, and it closed at 717. So almost 180 points. Then the next day we were green, although we did come down first. But I've always said I need to be watching this and play these band breaks because look here, the broke band reversed, third band broke third band here, reversed, broke third band here, reversed. It doesn't happen often. Broke third band, reversed, broke third band, reversed, up. It doesn't happen often, but almost every time that you see a third band break on the indices on the daily chart, you get the snapback. Even here, I mean, just touch that third band and reverse some. Yeah, 100 points actually. It reversed 100 points. So I need to put alerts on the third bands on the daily charts. Here again, hit third band, reversed. So you can see, mean, I'm going back 2 years now, and it's almost a guaranteed play. Same here. Now, the one time it wouldn't have worked was when uh, crude oil went negative. I mean, yeah, it did eventually reverse, but went down a lot further before. Yeah, the market did like the CPI so far. I don't know. You think inflation would scare the market down, but I don't know. I think maybe the market likes the tape. I can't remember the market. I don't know. This is why I just play and don't analyze. What am I? 1 minute. Strategy I'm using just on my regular day. I just follow the Why shouldn't they follow? I had the super trend. I have a lot of lines on this all of a sudden. Hold on, let me get rid of some of these lines. Just I use the super trend as my main indicator. That's sending me these buy and sell signals. And then when I get one, I look at where it's at on the chart, the price action. Um, Usually, I won't jump in if it's broken the third band unless it did it on news. But even so, here we had the consolidation. It got back inside the news. It got back inside the third band before it kind of went up further. So I use the bands and I use the SMA line as a guide. I usually won't like here. We got a short signal here, but we had an uptrending band, uptrending SMA line, uptrending band. So I wouldn't have jumped in on that. I would have jumped in on this buy because it was continuing to trend. So I sort of follow trend and I follow these signals, and I just base my entries on when I get these signals, which is basically this is an ATR, and just follow the signals based on where it's at on the price action when I get them. See, like this buy signal here that didn't work, I wouldn't have taken because it was coming up to these strong downtrending bands. I would have expected this downtrend. Now, if this downtrend had come down and then pop back above the SMA, then that would have been my signal to take that. Yeah, mean reversion. I don't know. I admit I haven't studied it as much, but it just seems like I mean, Bollinger Bands themselves are a form of mean reversion. You expect things to bounce back toward the middle, but I mean, I don't know. I kind of just I like following these signals. I need to study mean reversion more. I need to study price action more, but I'm trying not to overcomplicate everything in my mind. My ultimate strategy based right now on what I have, right now I'm only using one contract because of the amount of risk, and I don't want, if it's something goes against me, I don't want to make a huge dent against me. Hi, Ace Trades. Yeah, I don't like a lot of lines. I don't like a messy chart. I can't. These people that use like 20 indicators, it's like so hard to follow. They look like they threw a bunch of spaghetti on their charts. I draw support and resistance, which is something I've started doing more lately, just to wait for things to pop through. But my ultimate strategy is like if I follow these, like a buy signal here, have a certain profit target for one, so I lock in some profit and then either let the other one roll until, with either I have pretty far back trailing stop, or even let it roll until the next opposite signal or something like that. But right now I'm only running one contract, so that part of the strategy isn't in effect. Because even these, I mean, I draw out these support and resistance lines, and even they bug me. Heck, even the Bollinger Band. I mean, I love the look of a clean chart, especially because the bands kind of that's like shrink the price action. Oops. I prefer the look of a chart like that, where that looks so much different than when the bands are around it and it shrinks it like that. That looks better in my opinion. But I do like what the Bollinger Bands tell me. Well, the third band. I very, very, very rarely look at the second band, but the third band is more consistent. But yeah, I do. I mean, I guess I do use mean reversion a little bit with the bands, but I'm more likely to just try and follow these super trend signals, and then used a couple other indicators I have on here as a guide. And you can see how what I do is I go through and I mark out every trade I would have taken, even if I didn't take the trade, because obviously, I don't trade 24/7. So like, I would have taken this short signal here, that would have got me 15 points. So I would have taken this buy signal, 15 points. Short signal eventually would have given me 15 points. 15 points. And I try to be very brutally honest with myself. So honestly, right here, I might have taken this. I would count this as a loss because I might have taken that. And obviously, but it was a downtrending SMA line, so I might not. But I'll count it as a loss when I put it on the spreadsheet. So you can see, this strategy usually gives me good. This one would have actually worked, but I wouldn't have taken it because it was coming down into an uptrending band, an uptrending SMA line. So that's my basic strategy. I'm going to look at refining it a little bit. I have a specific profit target and stop loss for every trade, and that's something I need to get better at. Perhaps adjusting more depending on market conditions. Like on NQ, I'm looking for usually most of the time I'm looking for 15 points with a 10-point stop loss. But like during a higher volatility time, which usually from like 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern, I move that to a 30 by 20. But there's certain times that other times of the day when things are really moving, and it should be looking for more with a wider stop. I'll also, I'm really risk averse right now because, don't want to blow the account. So once I have a cushion, I'll be more likely to take, a little bit, slightly bigger risk, but my risk reward is always at least 1.33 to 1. And I try to get closer to 1.5 or even 2 to 1. Do want to thank everyone for joining me this morning as we about 25 minutes from the New York bell, or Chicago bell, or whoever rings the bell. Please feel free to keep saying hello in the chat and tell me if you're trading this morning, what you're trading, if you're sim trading, gauntlet trading, real trading, just sitting there watching. Accidentally got here by accident. So we're still kind of flat here as we head into that bell. Let's get rid of some of these lines on gold and the bonds. Should have a better way of doing support resistance that didn't make the chart look as messy as it does. See, copper's continuing to come down. The indices are definitely sideways. Crude's coming down. Russell. Russell's kind of sneaking downward. See, it broke the SMA line over here at 22, 2239.5. It's down to 2237.1, so 24 ticks so far since breaking the SMA. I'm going to be going in and out here. I'm going to be muting as I chew my breakfast, and you don't want to hear me chew some Cinnamon Toast Crunch, I don't think. ESs are also sneaking down by a point or a half a point, quarter point each time. That's the other thing, about the bands is it makes the price action look kind of smaller than it actually is, or bigger than it actually is sometimes. So that looks like a big, at least that there's curling down more than they are. I mean, this looks like they're curling down. When I put the bands back on, it oops, kind of shrinks that whole thing. Kind of an optical illusion. I'm going to work on refining a little bit of my strategy this weekend. This week's been horrible for me after having a great week last week. I think one of the problems is I'm switching between micros and minis. So I need to get comfortable either doing one or the other. Because, I did like 4 straight winning trades on micro NASDAQ. And I switched to a mini and totally wiped out my gains from the micros. Went with 1 loss. So like an 80% win rate between the 5 trades. But I wiped all the gains out with that 1 loss. So I need to find something I'm comfortable with. I don't want to, running 15-10 on NASDAQ means I lose $200 at a shot. And with the gauntlet, the mini gauntlet, I just feel like that's too much on one trade. So probably gonna go to micros, but maybe like 5 micros, and try and stick to that for now, which might give me more confidence. My main problem is not taking enough trades. I know, I mean, you don't want to be over trading, obviously, but I talk myself out of taking good signals, and it's something I just need to work through and find something can continue to get some forward progress. Last week I had 5 green days, a little over $1,000, so I was averaging about $200 a day. And this week I've given back about 600 of that. Gold, trying to come back. Let's see here. Ninja Trader trade performance today, from Sunday through today. Well, that nice win there on gold from earlier today has made it that I've down $546 on the week. And that's not horrid. I was up 1,006 last week, so I've given back about 55% of the gains last week. So, I mean, if you want to look at the positive, over the last 2 weeks, I'm still up 400 some odd bucks. But I would rather have had forward momentum continue instead of one step forward, one step back. About 15 minutes till the open. Never realized how quick Cinnamon Toast Crunch goes soggy. UltraBonds sneakily crept back up, came down, came back up, and came back down, and then this has been a good signal to take. And somehow, I don't know if I wasn't paying attention, but it's popped up. Wow, it's popped up way more than I thought. It's up like 20 ticks since then. ES. And that's the other. The Ultra Bond provides. Yeah, it doesn't have a micro, and copper doesn't have a micro. So those two, I gotta also figure out how to deal with. Because right now, my loss, if my stop loss on the Ultra Bond, 5 ticks, which is like 156 bucks. I don't know. I prefer to keep the losses down to 100 bucks or less. Even if I am doing a more than a 1-to-1 reward to risk. Yeah, I'm thinking five micros for Nasdaq. Yeah, the commissions are, if I do 5 micros, I think the commissions are like, eight, it would be like $8, $9 versus, I think it's like $4 for one mini. So I mean, it's the commissions that, I mean, I've thought about doing like just 10 micros instead of a mini, where I can do my fade out with, letting two go to a certain profit target, two go to a higher profit target, etc. But then, then I'm paying like somewhere between $16 and $20 in commission. So, yeah. My opinion that, they should make it that if it's 1/10 the size of the contract, for a micro, then the commission should be 1/10 the size instead of like one half the size or whatever it is. See how everything is flat. Well, as we head into the bell, just moving sideways, moving slightly in a slightly downtrending motion. This Russell move here that looks kind of sideways is downtrended by a full 3 points. So I mean, Nasdaq did send this short signal here. That has been sideways. Copper. Okay, breakfast is done, so now I can concentrate with 7 minutes to go. natural gas. So it looks like the UltraBond, the bonds really like today's news for whatever reason. Everything else, I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see which way this explodes at the open. There's no way it'll have all this pent up energy here that's not gonna go big one way or the other. Sometimes I wonder if I should put one micro on, just guessing which way it's gonna go, and take the you know $40 loss if I'm wrong. Give me 1 second. Uh, 3 minutes until the open. Let's see where we go there. Ultra Bond up a full point in the last half hour. $1,000. Probably a nice trade to take. Coppers continue to just kind of meander downwards, down about $500 per contract in the last 45 minutes. Crude continuing to also come down. over here to the indices. And we'll watch what they do here with 27 seconds to go to the bell. There's the bell. Popping up. NQ up. 10, 16, 20. 20 points. Yeah, I should have went long. I was thinking long. Though not a explosive move yet. Oh, pulling back now. And heading back down, heading down. See, I knew I should have went short. No, kidding. Actually, I did think it was going to go long based on what it did earlier. Yes, down now. Up. Now we're back too long on the NQ. Pulling back on the ES. Let's see what the others are doing. Russell, that same indecisive action. Crude's popping up. Gold is just not even really doing much at all. UltraBond not doing much. Copper not doing much. So all eyes are on the indices here, which is quite indecisive. See, Nasdaq's now trying to kind of head up toward that high off the CPI report. The high was 16,312. We're at 280. It just pulled back a bunch. Not a very exciting open so far, though. Oh wait, there. Okay, maybe it is now. There we go. Now we're starting to see some oomph. It's up 32 points, 36. There we go. I guess I just had to mock it. Okay, just hit the high from earlier, and it's struggling there. hit it by close to one tick. Nope, now it's bobbing there. Broke. Not seeing as strong of a move as on the ES as we are in the NQ. We're up 50 points now. Half of that on this 1 minute candle. Pulling back below that earlier high now. Broke that earlier high by about 8 points. It's back above it. Hold on one sec. Big pullback here, bounced off 320. So rejection there. ES, I mean, really just hasn't really done much. A couple of points. Nasdaq went up by 50 and now reversing by 30. Hi, Mohammed. I don't do call-outs like that. I won't tell someone to buy or sell anything at any point in time. I'm not licensed to give advice, and it's technically illegal for me to say buy something here or sell something here because I'm not a licensed financial advisor. I can just tell you what I'm doing, and right now it looks like crude's trying to come down. But I go in for short-term moves. I don't hold anything long-term. So Nasdaq pulled back down, gave away a bunch of its move, bounced off the SMA, is now staying slightly above the SMA, but it's really not giving us much direction here. Crude bounced off its SMA line. It seems to be heading back down. That move earlier is 71.35. It's at 71.47 now. A little bit more room to go down. See if it continues down below. Russell is as indecisive as everything else. You can see each candle here on the ES is only giving us between 1 and 2 points. So it's indecisive. I guess the the people making the trades aren't 100% sure about that whole inflation report. That Nasdaq's bouncing back up. Hit a high of 16,322. Back up to 16,304. Boom, back up again. And back above that high, up to 326. New high of the day now at 328. Let's look at resistance. Boom, 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 boom. Oh. So it's trying to gain back everything it lost yesterday. It's about halfway there. High of yesterday was 414. So that's our major resistance, obviously. That area, 404 to 415. Right now we're here. Another area of resistance about right here at 35, 335. It's pulling back now. It's back down to 300. Yep, this, five big move down again here. So very indecisive. And I don't want to play it. Copper short signal here. See, came up, bounced off the band, come down. HG. I was just gonna jump in a copper trade, but it's kind of trying to go without me, maybe. Uh, Maybe reversing. What's everyone doing? Anyone in a trade out there? Hey, don't feel the need to answer if you need to concentrate. Ah, I hesitated. He who hesitates is lost. Well, looks like the market may have decided short is the way it wants to go. Nasdaq down 22 points since this short signal, and it's back and it's below the point it was at the open. From its high here at 328 down to here to where it's at 262, it's given back 40 points from the high. But it still has a ways to go to get down to where it was when the CPI report came out at 193-ish. Gold heading down, but with humps. S&P down, Russell heading down. Yep. So this obviously I didn't take this short here. Honestly, this was wild, but the signals from the super trend were good both times. This one would have got me from 87 up to a potential 22, and so over 30 points. And this is obviously over 30 points. It's heading down. It's about 50 points so far. So both would have worked. That copper trade would still be going. I need to stop hesitating. This is my problem. I hesitate. I don't take the good trades. I overanalyze. Or I just don't analyze fast enough. Copper's nearing its daily low. Hit a low back here of 430.55. So it's 3 ticks away. This is what NASDAQ looks like basically since the CPI report. Big ups, big downs. This is a five. These are 5 minute candles. CPI report gave us 90 points. If you include the initial move down, originally moved down by 16 points, so it went from 75 up to 85, so 110 points from the bottom. It came up a little bit more on the next candle, sideways, initial boom at the open, and then reversed. This is a 70-point candle, and this is a 30-point candle, so it's now down over 100 points off this reversal. So these are big moves. If you gone in on this buy signal here before this CPI report, you could have got 100 points, $2,000, and now if you wait, even if you waited for the short signal on the 5 minute chart, you'd still be up of $600, 30 points. Seeing a bit of a bounce here. Copper continuing to head downward. Russell continuing to head downward. Ooh, big move down here on crude oil. 29 ticks down. Obviously these moves are all wonderful, and I wish I had jumped in, but I hesitate to jump in now because you never know where they're going to stop. It's almost like a FOMO feeling. I mean, I can look at support and resistance, but that doesn't always give you the full picture. If I had followed my trading plan and just went in on the buy and sell signals, I would be doing good right now. Although you can see that crude oil, why wouldn't I have followed that short signal that I just got? Very far down into the third Bollinger Band. I broke the band, so now I expected this move back up. Now if it might come back down now that it's outside of that, back inside the third band. But unfortunately for now, I'm just a spectator as I watch the Russells going down here about 30 points. Gotta wonder if this is gonna be an all morning bleed out or where the bottom's at. Walt, you in anything? Anybody out there in it? Anyone take any of these trades that I didn't take? Okay, we are seeing bounces now, so looks like we might have found the bottom. Nasdaq from its bottom here of 205 back up to 246. Starting back up 40 points. Gold sideways. Curling back up to the SMA line on the ES and the NQ. NQ kind of sniffed it, but already backing off a bit. Approaching the 10 o'clock hour. Copper's come down $1,000 since its high earlier at a little after 8:30 Eastern. Looking for that one more good trade after all the good trades I've missed. Okay, ES is pulling back down. NQ pulling back down. See if it gets back below that low of about 205. Crude has made a new daily low. And we are back to that 205 level here on NASDAQ. Is it going to go back down to the 192 area that we saw, or the 175 area that we saw right before the explosion on from the CPI? Well, we have a bounce here. Big bounce, 16 points up. Pulling back again. You see we have a downtrending SMA line, downtrending bands. Is back now. Wonder if we can get 15 points out of it. Or more. Where's my key chart? Nope, bounce again. So you see it's getting down to these levels. It got down to 205, 211, 209, 206, 204, 204, and struggling at that level. I'm going to do one micro short here, I think. Yeah, bouncing again, maybe not. Seems like it wants to get down there and break that, but yep, it's popping up back to the SMA line. Gold's pretty much completely sideways for the last 10 minutes, or actually longer, really. Copper trying to pop back up to the SMA. UltraBonds are sideways. Market's taking a breath. S&P's popped up to the SMA line. Smaller Russell pop. HD, ES. Okay, there we go. We have a buy signal on ES. Downtrending SMA line. Yep, they already reversed there. Copper also struggling. It's above the SMA line as well, but it pulled back. Everybody's quiet now. Market's kind of quiet. Did bounce off the SMA. Status quo right now. Nothing really giving us signals. Boring sideways action. I'm gonna send a complaint to the CME that we need more exciting action from my viewers. Wonderful sideways action. Exciting, exciting, exciting. Starting to see a little bit of bullish momentum here. We see the the S&P above the SMA. Say that 5 times fast. S&P above the SMA. S&P above the SMA. Blah, 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 blah. Crude's trying to come up. Nasdaq sending us a buy signal here. Seems like it wants to curl up. I kind of like it. I like it. I love it. I might want some more of it. Uh, One Nasdaq by the oops by the ask. Pop back down. Buy market. Let's just go for it. We're in on one micro. Uh oh. Okay. I have divergence here. The December price action is not matching the March price action on TradingView. I just took a trade on bad. It's like, oh no, now it's matched up. It's just deciding to pull back on me. Pull back more though on. There are a few points off from each other. So I gotta watch that now. UltraBond, big time move down. That's the one I should have taken. Uh, Looks like we're gonna stop out on this. Maybe not. Here it comes. Oh, yep, coming back down. Stopped us out. So $40 loss there. I thought, it looked good, honestly, but apparently it topped. I was even running a 20-point stop there, so yeah, I'm not gonna. But I think, let's see, this was a 267, and this opened at what? 264. So yeah, we have divergence on the. They look, no, they look kind of similar. I don't know. I hate rule days where there's action on both the next contract and the current contract. It seems they seem to be about 4 points apart, and I think that 4 points, guess it really didn't matter. They pulled back 20 points either way. It is bouncing off the SMA line. This is where I get, a little bit frustrated, not with myself. If I had taken this one, this would have worked. That one would have worked. One I take doesn't work. Uh, UltraBond down 10 ticks. Russell's above its SMA line. ES is still below its EMA line. SMA line, I'm sorry. SMA. And here's NASDAQ trying to come back up. But we do see that the bands and the SMA and even the EMA are all kind of, sideways. About 10:15 on the East Coast. We'll probably stream here for another 15 minutes or longer if anything exciting happens. Copper's trying to curl up. It's above the SMA line. So you can see that we did bounce here. Just trying to head back up. So it might have been that I was right to jump in here and just my stop loss should have been more. But we'll see. I don't like running a higher stop, but if I do it with one micro, I mean, it's not that huge of a loss, but it's still. See, copper above the SMA, Probably want to see it get it back above that. If you look here, this this candle here, it waked up to 431 even, so it's about just 4 ticks away from that. That's where it came. As it was coming down, it tried to come back up, and then kind of went sideways since. We are getting that buy signal there on copper. Let's bring up a copper chart. Let's show it. We got 7 seconds. It's still 1 tick below that prior point here on this candle that I had this chart right next to. I want to see if it can get above there. It looks like it is. Oh yeah, it is. We're right there now. We're going to mark it in. Down 2 ticks. Hopefully that wasn't the exhaust, the, the, the bulk of the move. So we'll watch this. Up $80 on the day. So this ends up stopping me out. We'll go back to being on a red day. But we'll think positive. Seems to be struggling here. Oh, that I like. We're up 4 ticks. Five. Hey, Jay. Now, the question is, do I think it's going to regain all this move here? And that's a good question, and I kind of doubt that. So, let's see. And we're back down 2 ticks. So it might have rejected off. It did touch the third band. Let's see if it comes back up here. If it comes back up to 4 or 5 ticks, I might cut it. Just take that profit. Just trying to pull back. Now we're back. We're pulled back by 4 ticks. So it looks like it might have hit off that band and bouncing. See if we can come back up. This isn't looking good, honestly. But we'll see whether or not that well, it's already back below that previous resistance area. My stop loss is right below the SMA line. So we'll see if the SMA or the ATR line, just right about the equal points, can act as a someplace that bounces. But we're down 6 ticks right now. Yep. It's continuing down 7 ticks. Don't even remember what this line represents here. But maybe it'll bounce off of it. 7 ticks from, oh, a little bit of a bounce. Five ticks away from stop. But we do have an uptrending SMA. We do have a slightly uptrending Bollinger Bands. So we still got some hope on this trade. That this might be just a pullback and then bounce off the SMA. Down $100 now. If this stops me out, this will pretty much assure me a all red week. Just hit the SMA line. Does it bounce? We have a green candle there. Nice bounce. Back to only being 3 ticks down. And back to 6 ticks down. Yep. Let's see if it bounces again. If not, so far it's respecting that SMA line. Come on, copper. Copper baby, put your ticks under my tree. Yes, I can't believe I just did that live. Okay, we're down 8 ticks, $100. 4 ticks from stop. The bid side of the Dom is a lot thinner than the ask side. That's not a good sign either. Still hugging that SMA, but I got a feeling it's going to break it. Did come up a bit when I was serenading earlier. Maybe I should continue. I might drive off viewers if I do that though. Calmly watching, calmly hoping. Wishing and a hoping. Kind of torturing me here as it goes sideways. Seems like this has been happening all lately. Okay, just bounced off the ATR line. We're still down 8 ticks. UltraBond. Yep, we just got stopped out. There we go. So that and pretty much ensures my all red week. Down $71 now on the day. So it went from being up 119 to down 71. Great trade on gold earlier. Gave it back on a MNQ and a copper. It's 10:30 on the East Coast. We could take a look at a couple other things. Yeah. See, this is what frustrates me is that I just, oh, this is the Nasdaq trade that I got stopped out on earlier. And this is really frustrating. I entered, get out of here. I entered on this. It pulled back over, like 25 points, and then it went. So, if I had a wider stop, 67 up to 14, it's this is over 50, almost 50 points. But I got stopped out first, and then it went. Uh, did I say next week? This week. This week's an all red week. Last week was an all green week. Next week, I don't know. Next week, I'm showing my frustration. I need to stop. But yeah, so this trade worked. It pulled back enough to stop me out. It was about a 24-point pullback. I hesitate to do more than 20 points on a stop loss. So on a regular mini, that's 400 bucks. Right? Yeah, 400 bucks. So obviously it would have worked. If I just ran a 25-point stop, I could have got 50 points out of this move. But I got stopped. This another. Now I wouldn't have taken this. I didn't take this, or I wouldn't have even I was paying attention because of the uptrending bands, and it just dropped by 27 points. Ultra bond here, you see this buy signal, beautiful. It just broken the SMA line, almost similar to the copper trade that I did that failed for me. See, this one had broken the SMA line a couple before that. And actually, that would have ended up being enough to get me a trailing stop if the signal had come two candles earlier. This one came here, and you can see this is going up 11, 12 ticks. That one would have worked. This one would have worked. I think this one would have worked. So it's like, how is it that they keep taking the signals that don't work, and there's a whole bunch of other signals that do? This last copper trade would have worked. This last signal that did before the one that didn't, wouldn't taken that one because it would have been against the trend. This one would have worked. That one would have worked. It's just like, how can it look like 75% of these signals would have worked, and I end up taking the 25% that don't? This is the frustration. Yes, excuse me. I'm sorry, Russell, going down 7 points in the last 7 minutes. S&P down. Crude. Eh. I mean, here, this crude signal, 46 up to 68. That would have got me my 20 points, or even higher. This weekend, I'm going to analyze every signal on S&P, Russell, copper, crude, Nasdaq, and gold between the hours of 8 and 11 Eastern, and see what percentage, regardless of any other factors, take all the other indicators away, see what percentage work and what percentage don't. And maybe I just take every signal. S&P's definitely bleeding out. Russell's bleeding out. Nasdaq bouncing though. Man, S&P bouncing. So going back down to this level we were at before. This is where I was gonna enter a Nasdaq trade, if you remember. For those of you that were here. But we bounced a couple times right off this level at around 205, 206. It's coming back down. You see, it bounced at that exact same spot again, right around 205. Next week streams, normal days. Monday evening, Wednesday evening, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday morning. Wednesday is FMOC. I don't know if we might want to do an extended stream for that. Not sure if anyone would be interested in that. And the following week is the week leading up to Christmas. I don't think I'll stream that Friday. That's Christmas Eve. I'm not even sure what the market hours are. I'm pretty sure the market's open that day, though. So it'll probably be Monday and Wednesday evening and Tuesday and Thursday morning. In my opinion, no one should be trading Christmas Eve anyway. Enjoy the time with family and friends or all that. I mean, I have no reason not to trade that day, but so we're watching NASDAQ, seeing if it comes back down to this 205 level. See if it breaks it, or if this continues this support level. You know, it's also interesting if you look at this. Let's go back here, and this is let's go. Remember, let's go all the way back here. SMA line coming up. Big break here. Every time it breaks the SMA line since about 4 or 5 hours ago, looks like it would have been decent trades. Breaking here. Now this wouldn't have been, but you had downtrending everything. Re-break, would have been great. Another great entry. Ooh. Kind of broke here, but you had the downtrending bands. Without even these signals, you could just follow the SMA line. Broke here. Up. Stayed above. Big ups. Broke the SMA, had a little bit of a retreat, but then came down. Not sure how much it came down on that one. 282 down to, oh yeah. I mean, 282 down to 16, 18 points. Broke here. It broke the SMA. Up. Used the SMA as a support. Bounced off. Came back up. Then broke it. Good move down. See it? Broke it here. Consolidated, but stayed above. And went. Another good trade. Here, broke the SMA, good trade. Just following the SMA line with no other indicators. So, well, besides the bands as well, because I said there's a couple that we wouldn't have taken because of the downtrending bands. So just using the SMA and the Bollinger Bands, you could have made some very good trades. I could have made some very good trades. Gold here is grinding upwards. But see, this is, yeah, well, actually, it's not that bad of a pullback. Sent this buy signal here, touched the third band, pulled back, then went. That's up $300 or 30 ticks. But UltraBond now has gone 15 ticks. Sideways now on the indices. Crude's kind of sideways. Natural gas slow grind up. Nasdaq hovering there. About 215. Natural gas. NQ still sideways, still trying to come back down to that previous low of this move. If it breaks the low of this move, breaks this low, then we might see it head back down to 168 area, which is where it was at before the CPI report. Why? What's wrong with it, Jay? Are you getting delayed data or no data at all? Huh. That's weird. And it just broke that level that we're looking at and broke it big time. So see, once again, I just kind of watched it happen. And the smart thing to do here, if I was really convinced that if it broke this level, it was going to go down, which is exactly what it did, would have been parking order like 2 points away from it. So, I had it at 205, parked an order even at 200, and it's gone down to 80. So I could have got 20 points out of that. And instead, I just kind of watched it, and there's no way. I mean, if it starts breaking fast, like NQ tends to do, and everything does it at times, there's no way you can quickly react to get into an order. This if you're just watching. So it's a good idea to place an order there and let it get filled. You put a tight stop loss on it. That way if it's a false breakout, then you're take a small stop and that's it. But I could have got 20 ticks off of that break of that area, 20 to 25 ticks, and I didn't. The stream's becoming more about things I'm not doing that I should versus things that I am doing right. And I gotta figure that out. So let's take a quick look. Since 7 o'clock my time, 8 o'clock your guys' time, these are the signals we got in gold. This one would have given me 31 ticks. This one would have given, that was 31 ticks without hardly any heat, which means, going the other way first. Same thing here. This would have given me, this is the one we did win on, but we got 12 ticks. But it would have given me 54 ticks if I had let it. That one would have worked. Now this is the iffy one. You can see this would have worked, but after a 38 tick pullback, it wouldn't have been, that one would have been worth it. So no matter what, that would have been a stop out. And it did give me 15 ticks, but yeah, we don't want 15 ticks after it goes 38 ticks the wrong way. Next one. Boom, 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 boom. Here, this would have given, beep, 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 bop, bop. Wow, that would have given 89 ticks, and only less than 1 tick, 1 point. I mean, uh, reversal before it did. Short signal. This would have reversed some. Let's see how far. 1 point reversal. So, and then that would have move ultimately. Yeah, I have. I took a $150 loss on copper, $40 loss on micro Nasdaq. So I'm now down $71 on the day, and guaranteeing myself an all red week after having an all green week last week. So I'm just a bit on the frustrated side. So, quick analysis just on gold. In the last 3 hours, this was before. Actually, we could have. I said 8 to 11. So last 3 hours, I missed this one. A lot of signals all of a sudden as I'm trying to do something. How rude. So look at this. If I had just followed gold this morning, this is frustrating. I shouldn't be doing this. Let's scrunch this together. If I had just been following, and this is every signal. This is not even filtering anything I wouldn't have taken. And the one that I wouldn't have taken is the one that would have stopped me out. Look at this. This could have been a 4-point winner, a 3-point winner. You hardly see that one. A 50-point winner. I'm sorry, tick winner. Let me try to see it. 40 ticks, 30 ticks, 54 ticks. Stopped. 88 ticks, 53 ticks, 34 ticks. And all of these could have been done with just a 15 tick stop loss at the very most. I think actually 12 ticks. No, 15, yeah, 15 ticks. So I could have been 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 winners, 1 loser, running just a 15 tick stop. And gotten every one of these gave me at least 30 ticks in profit. So I could have been running a 2-to-1, say 30, 60, 90, 120, 150. Oh, I forgot the skinny one. 180 ticks profit, 15 ticks loss. So 165 ticks or $1,650 in one contract. And that's just blind. I mean, almost blindly just taking every signal this morning on gold. Got about 7 more minutes. We'll wrap up the stream at 11. Let's do that whole fun exercise on the Nasdaq. Let's go back in time. This would have been the first signal after 8 o'clock Eastern. Boom, 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 boom. Let's try 10 points. This would have sent a short signal, but we were still in a profit, so ignore that short signal. Oh, well, okay, so 10 would have stopped me out before this ran. So let's just do that. Let's take that stop and then do this buy. This one would have went 75 points. This short, you can see it reverse first. So let's see. Would not have stopped that at 20. Let's see how far this would have went. This one wouldn't have been that great. So, well, maybe. Let's see. How far does it go before this buy signal? So that's 16 would have had to run it. Okay, that one would have lost too. So that would, but then here at the open, this long would have worked for 41. This short would have worked for 68. This long. Now see, this is where we run into problems. Now if I just was going signal to signal, or whatever, or using some other sort of, I mean, I would have needed a 30-point stop loss to not get stopped out of that trade, but it would have went 50. And that's a 1.5 risk to, or 45. That's still a 1.5, but I don't want it to run a 30-point stop. But here, this next position would have been, this next signal would have been a winner by a bunch. Would have went as far as 106 points. And that's where we're basically at now. So I've been running a 30-point. If I was running a 30-point stop, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 loss, five and two, and if I just went signal to signal, it wouldn't even 30-point losses. So it just feels like I need to take more of the trades, more of the signals. This is hardly without filtering anything out. Taking more of the signals, I could be getting more wins. So I gotta review some stuff this weekend because I'm frustrated. There's no reason I should not be more consistent than I am. I can, Jay, but I mean those sent later signals, so I'm not sure what. I don't know, maybe. I'll take a look at different time frames this weekend too, if I have time. I need to try and make sure I get as much M-Turk work done as I can because the last week of the month is gonna be slow. Need to make sure I have my rent money and everything. So I'm trying to balance everything, and it's just getting frustrating because I feel I should be funded by now. I feel like some of these worries that I keep worrying about in real life should be going away by now, and they're not. I'm tired of the struggle. Crude, big move down. 25 ticks down. So I think that's where we're gonna wrap it up. It's 11 a.m. Things are kind of sideways. I'm a tad bit frustrated. Uh, Copper, of course. Sends a signal. It's just gone up 5 ticks. Is it going to do the same thing it did to me here? I'm not going. I'm done for the week. I'm going to refresh. Not try not to be frustrated. Figure and start figuring things out and start fresh Monday or Sunday night, whichever. So next stream is Monday evening, then Tuesday morning. Hopefully we can get back on track. according to Ninja Trader, I'm ending this week down $736 after being up $1,006 last week. So I gave back about 74% of last week. Still, I mean, to look at the positive, I am trying hard to look at the positive. Over 2 weeks, I'm still up $270. So, got to build on that next week. And hopefully we can build. I still got, I believe, 15 trading days this year. If I could average about 300 a day, I could still get funded by the end of the year. So we'll see. Be nice. You can see Comper just making a fool of me by deciding to head up on that signal. It's doing on this signal what I expected it to do on this one, and failed. So I call it there, and I will talk to everybody next week. I hope you have a great weekend, and try and stay green. See you Monday evening or Tuesday morning. Have a great weekend. Bye.